But that's the wholesaling blueprint that you would need to get your first deal within the next 2 to 3 weeks. The question that I get asked the most, Rob, how do I get started? So today we're going to talk about that. I had no money. Picked it up for like 11. Sold that thing, I think, for like 39 or something like that. Come up almost $30,000 from just one transaction. That was my aha moment. Locked in. I'm dead serious. No distractions, man. Cancel your Netflix subscription for the next 2 months. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. Hey, man. I hope y'all had a blessed Thanksgiving, man, and y'all had all that good food and all that good turkey and that good macaroni and cheese and the candy yams and the devil eggs and the mac salads, the tuna salads, and all of that stuff that comes with the gift of Thanksgiving, guys. And hopefully y'all working that all off now, right? So, guys, last Thursday was actually supposed to be the podcast day, but of course it was Thanksgiving, man. So we had to go ahead and postpone it to this week, guys. But I'm excited to be back with y'all, man. I am so excited, guys. Listen, man, if you are a returning member, returning guest, if this is your first time, guys, either way, man, you are in the right place at the right time. I promise you that. Listen, if you're someone that's looking to scale your real estate business, you're in the right place, guys. If you're someone that's looking to break into the real estate business, you're in the right place. If you're just looking to be around like-minded people, man, you know what I mean? Like-minded people, you're in the right place, guys. Today I'm excited, man, because we're going into a new year. We're wrapping up on the fourth quarter, guys. We're wrapping up on 2025, guys. Can you believe this? It's about to be 2026 in a couple days, man. Like, it seemed like just yesterday we were literally just all planning our New Year resolutions and our business plans and our professional plans and goals and things like that. And here we are, guys. I wanted to make sure that we close this thing out with a bang because, listen, man, I want to help my tribe, my circle, people who's following my movement, people who I'm doing not just business with, but doing life with. I want to help y'all to win, man. You know what I mean? And one of the questions I get asked most, guys, and I'm not making this stuff up. It's literally the question that I get asked the most. And that question is, Rob, how do I get started? How do I get started? So today we're going to talk about that. Not only are we going to talk about it, I'm going to do this literally, guys. If you look for a wholesaler, this title is called the Wholesale Blueprint. Get your first deal in 2 to 3 weeks. Because literally, if you follow this blueprint, I promise you're going to be able to close your first deal or even get your first deal locked up in the first 2 to 3 weeks. That's word, guys. So this is basically going to be a mini course. So on top of all the wonderful guests that I've brought on, guys, I want to make sure that this video right here be utilized as the jump start on how to get started. So when I'm asked that question in the future, I want to be able to say, here you go, A through Z blueprint. Module 1, Module 2, everything that you need to know on how to get your hands on your first deal, this is going to be that video right here for that. Right? It's an interaction and it's an exchange. You guys help me to help y'all. So usually I'm on here. It's usually me and another guest, and we're talking and we're answering questions along the way. This is going to be a course. So when I first arrived to Atlanta, maybe about 2014. So that's what, 11 years ago now, guys? Yeah, 11 years ago. When I left from Philly, I'm originally from Philly, right? So when I left from Philly, I had a couple houses. I was doing a little bit of fixing and flipping, and I had a license that I barely used, but I had a contracting business. Man, long story short, damn near bankrupt me, man. You know what I mean? I'm like, I mean, I'm talking about we had like 12 employees, you know what I mean? Having the family work for me, having cousins out there in the field do the work for me, all of that stuff, man. You know, and it was just more money going out than it was coming in. And when I left, I liquidated a lot of my properties, right? So I was so in the hole with my contracting business. The plan was we was transitioning over, right? From Philly to Atlanta. The plan was to get back here, open back up the contracted business. But then when I got here, all this stuff started happening. The house I was supposed to move into fell through. So me, my wife, and my 4 kids, we ended up in a hotel room. So now I'm living from a hotel room. And I said to my wife, I said, money, man, you know how money go, guys. Money go fast. Even though I had a couple properties on that with all the debt with the contracting company and things like that, man, that stuff deflated, guys. That thing just I'm talking about like magically just disappear. I'm broke at this point. I have a couple $1,000s, you know what I mean, to my name. So we're living in a hotel room. So I told my wife, I said, look, this is what we're going to do. I said, I'm not opening back up the contracting business. You know what I mean? Because it's a revolving door of hiring and firing. Hiring and firing. I said, I'm not opening back up the contracting business. I said, this is what we're going to do. I said, I'm just going to go into real estate, full blown. You know what I mean? So what I did was I went on Zillow, and at that time you were able to pay for a zip code, right? So it was like something cheap. I don't even remember. I probably was paying like $40 for a zip code. It was like Venetian Hills, Oakland City, that area. It was like transitioning. You know what I mean? So I was so I basically bought into the zip code. I would get leads, like 4, 5, 6, 7 leads. So I would call them people, hey, they come in. Some people were looking to buy, some people were looking to sell. So I'm doing all this. I'm doing all my lead generation from the hotel room. Long story short, fast forward, I started getting, getting some traction. And one day, one of those sellers who I met through those leads, I was listing a house for, and I was across the street from my house. And my wife was like, hey, babe, who house is that right there? Who house that is? I'm here to list this house. We about to list this house, babe. She like, yeah, but that house right there, baby, that's our house. Like, that's going to be our first investment property here in Atlanta. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. So I'm talking to the contractors was there, wrapping up some work at the house I was ready to list. The stages was there, staging the house, getting it ready, right? So I'm listening to my wife, but I'm taking it all in. Lie to you not, guys, no exaggeration. Minutes later, a woman come walking outside next door from the house my wife was just now, talking about and referencing, right? She come out, she say, hey. She said, hey. She said, come here, sweetie. Calling my wife. She said, come here, sweetie. My wife will go over. She like, hey, how you doing? She like, hey, you want to buy this house? My wife like, yeah, sure, I want to buy this house, right? So she said, come here. Let me give you the owner's number. She gives my wife the number. 3 weeks go by. No, 2 weeks go by. My wife said, hey, did you call the people? I said, nah, I didn't even call them people. 3 weeks go by. She said, hey, did you call the owners to the house that I was telling you that's going to be our first investment property? I said, nah, I ain't even get around to calling them. Nah. She said, call the people. Call them. Fast forward, I called the people, man, ended up locking that house up, guys, for I think $11,000. I ended up double closing it like the same day for like 30-something thousand dollars. That was my first big deal. So I'm out. I'm like, when I maybe netted like 20 something, close to 30. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. I picked it up for like 11. Sold that thing, I think, for like 39 or something like that. You hear what I'm saying? So for somebody like me in that position, I had no money to come up almost $30,000 from just one transaction. That was my aha moment. So that's why I say, guys, this thing is so special to me, because this was the thing that gave me my start here in Atlanta. You know what I mean? And this what really helped me to gain traction. And the guy y'all see today, you know what I mean, flipping all the houses. And again, for the new people that may not know who Rob Van Harris is, guys, we buy in anywhere from 3 to 5 properties a week. We do a lot of fixing and flipping. I have a huge portfolio. I do a lot of creative financing deals. I do all of this stuff with my family, right? And we have a thriving business, and we've done this over the past 11 years, guys. So that's why I say I'm excited to share this with you guys. Never to flex, only to share my testimony, guys, and allow my message to be a blessing unto you all, guys. You hear what I'm saying? And that's why this is going to be an actual module. I'm sorry, an actual course that you're going to be able to utilize to apply to your lives to hope that, hopefully change some things and open some doors and give you and your family some financial blessings. All right. With that being said, guys, let's get rocking and rolling, man. So look, guys, what is wholesaling? Let's start with that, man. What is wholesaling? Simply put, wholesaling is when we go out, we find a deal. Let's just say for $115,000, right? We find that deal. When we're going to discuss how we find the deals, well, we find the deal. I'm going to get into that in a minute. We find a deal, $115,000. Then we go find a cash buyer, right? And then we basically, guys, do one or two things. We even assign our interest in that contract to that cash buyer, or we double close with that cash buyer. Okay. So I put it under contract for 110. Zach put it under contract for 110, sell it to Rob for 125. How much does Zach just now make? $15,000, because he just assigned his interest in that contract to Rob, right? So now in 2 weeks, Rob come in with his own 125 and close out that deal. The owner get they 110, Zach get his 15 assignment fee, and then he do it again, and he do it again, and he do it again. So that's why I say I have people right now. This is happening every day right now, where I buy deals off of people who make $10, $15, $20,000 with my company, no exaggeration, every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. And some of them people be up in here in the chat, guys. I'm not making this stuff up. Randy, I see Randy over there in the chat. Randy working with my company right now. Bring it. Same example I just now used. Same example, guys. Person like Randy, find it for 110, bring it to Rob's company for 125. He assign it. Rob come in 2 later. Rob company come in 2 weeks later, close the deal. Boom. Randy get $15,000 just like that, guys. That's what wholesaling is in summary. Okay. We're going to keep it simple, guys. You don't need to be a scientist, guys, to figure out this ain't no, you know what I mean? No, where you got to basically break down some huge math problem. We ain't doing algebra, guys. This simple add and subtraction, guys. Easy. You add and you subtract. And yeah, he literally make 15 because the closing costs don't even come from Randy. The closing costs come from me. So that's one way of doing it. Second way, I'm going to talk about later on down in the module, guys. So now, we always get asked this, especially from my lovely, amazing, intelligent agents, real estate agents. I'm one, right? Oh man, is wholesaling even legal? Oh no, wholesaling, that's not legal, dog. If you're in now it's different from look, it's not legal in every state. You can Google it, guys. It's exactly this. Yes, wholesaling is legal in the state of Georgia. You know what I mean? You just gotta do things in an ethical manner, guys, and make sure that you're disclosing, right? So if you're going to wholesale, right, just disclose to the seller that you're going to wholesale it. If you're working with an agent, just disclose to the agent that you're going to wholesale the property to Rob. What do they care? I promise you, no exaggerations. You guys can look this up. I've done over hundreds of deals. Go to Zillow or something. Just type in my name. I've done Zillow probably have it recorded as like over 600 deals. But it's way more than that, because that's just what they have recorded, what I put on, what I purchased off the market, properties that we put on the market, things like that. But what about all the properties? 80% of the houses we buy are off market, 80 to 85%, right? So you can Google your state, find out your state laws and regulations, find out the wholesaling outlaw, because it is outlawed in a few states, guys. And then find your closing attorneys and or title companies. Talk to them. Walk with them, build relationships. I had a closing attorney up here as one of my guests a few weeks back. My man, Jack Noonan, check out that episode. He's saying the same thing that I'm saying now, right? Disclosing the fact that you're going to wholesale is the key, right? It's just like with anything, transparency, guys. Be honest. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to go into any relationship with a lie, because once you basically start with a lie, you building that relationship on a lie, and it's going to end bad. When it start bad, guys, it start with a lie, it's going to have to be basically go through the process with a lie. Then when they start asking certain questions, you're going to have to, try to compensate a lie and back up a lie with a lie. And it's just not the way to do business, man. You want to keep a good name for yourself, guys, keep a good reputation. Tell the truth. All right, tell the truth. It takes years. Hear me clearly, guys. It takes years to build a great reputation for yourself in any business. And it takes 5 minutes to destroy it. Okay, so always keep that in mind when doing business. So is it illegal, right? Or is it legal? Talk to your Google it, talk to your closing attorneys, and if you're a title state, talk to the title companies, and they'll let you know whether you can conduct wholesaling or not through their office or within that state. Simple enough. All right. Wholesaling A to Z. Guys, this is the blueprint. Oh, we're going to walk through this. I'm not rushing to nothing. We're going to walk through this because I don't want y'all no more coming to me asking me these questions. I promise you, I'm going to say Zach. I'm going to say Shar. I'm going to say Randy. Kat, forward that video over to Main Man, because I got the whole thing right here for him. So lead generation, I just talked about that. When I was in the hotel, homeless, I was in the bathroom. My kids was a two beds in the room. I'm in a hotel. It was 2 beds. My kids staying in one, me and my wife staying in the other. And then it was a chair. My mom was even with us, and my mom was basically sleeping in the chair most of the time, and sometimes in the bed. You know what I mean? Sometimes I find myself in a tub. No exaggeration. You know what I mean? You'd be surprised how comfortable that tub could be. You throw some, some quilts, some comforters up in that thing, and some pillows. You'd be surprised. But lead generation is the heartbeat of your business. It's everything. You got to do lead gen every day. Every agent know that. Every wholesaler know that. Every fix and flipper know that. Every buy and hold investor know that. The key, the heartbeat of your business will be lead generation, guys. So guess what? Go old school. No money out of pocket. Get a pen, write the addresses down on a pen pad. When you get home, you skip trace, and we're going to talk about that later. Driving for dollars, cold calling. That's what I was basically doing when I was getting those leads from Zillow back in the day. I was cold calling. People didn't know me. That's what cold calling is. Hey, see you looking to buy a house on 123 Main Street. How you doing? Oh, I'm good. Yeah, man, so my name Rob Havers. I work with blah, 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 blah. Tell me a little bit about what you're looking for and what you're looking to accomplish. Oh, okay, boom. And just start the conversation. No script needed, guys. You just call and have a conversation with people. Texting, direct mail, agents, and referrals. So let me go back to this, right? Driving for dollars, cold calling, texting, direct mail, agent, and referrals. My bread and butter right now is agents and referrals. Why? Because now I built a reputation for myself, so I get a lot of referrals. And I told you, most of my business everybody that know me, most of my business come from agents and wholesalers. So agents and wholesalers know that, I'm a real buyer with real money, so they bring the deals right to my front doorsteps. Okay? Save y'all questions. I'm going to answer all y'all questions at the end, but we're going to get through this course. All right. Talking to sellers. Keep it simple. Keep only the essentials, guys. Okay. And what I mean by that is build rapport. Make sure when you're talking to a seller and or agent, build rapport. People like to do business with people that they like. Remember that. People like to do business with people that they like. Ask the question. You don't mind me asking, why are you selling? And then get quiet. Identify the pain points, right? Maybe that person is transitioning to a new state because of a job opportunity, right? Maybe it's a divorce situation, pre-closure, unfortunately. Whatever the case may be, guys, you want to come up and you want to offer a solution to those people's problems. A solution to the problems. The more problems you can solve, the more money you will make. Okay. So it's not about taking advantage of people and none of that, guys, because in that case, if wholesalers was taking advantage of people, then we all guilty. Real estate agents, real estate investors, closing attorneys, everybody, guys. We go and find people with problems and find out how we can add value. That's it. Okay. And the 80-20 rule. A lot of y'all have a problem with this, man. This is one of my biggest things in coaching my team. 80-20 rule. You should basically be doing 80% listening and 20% talking, right? Really care, right? Be empathetic towards if somebody is going through a pre-foreclosure situation and things like that, or a divorce situation. Guys, that's one of the most difficult times of a person's life, right? Sometimes you got to get on the phone and and Lord knows my team know I'm this boy. It been times I had to go from Rob the investor to Rob the counselor, Rob the preacher, man. Like, because ultimately, guys, I want to do guys well. You know what I mean? I want to do guys well and not Rob's well. So let's recap. Build rapport, ask why they're selling, identify the pain points, listen more than you talk. The 80-20 rule, and make sure you mirror and match the individual that you're talking with. Make sure that you mirror and match the individual who you're speaking with. What do that mean? It means that if I'm talking to a 70, 80-year-old person and they're talking like this, hey, how are you doing? How did you get my information? Oh, how's your day going? My day is going great. Thank you for asking. I'm going to match that same energy. Oh, my day is going great. Miss Cheryl, thank you for asking. I appreciate you, even asking that question. How about you? How your day going, Miss Cheryl? Oh, my day going great, Rob. Thank you for asking. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. So let's, so I see that you're looking to sell your property over here at 1-2. Mirror and match it. I'm talking to a person. Hi, D. Hey, yeah. I keep that same energy. Yeah. No, I feel you. No, I get you. Yeah. No, I can relate to that. I'm going to match that same energy. So that's mirror and matching, guys. Keep that in mind. All right. Number 3, everybody get hung up on this part right here, running numbers. Running numbers. Okay, pull out your calculators. Pull out your calculators on this one, guys. It's this simple. All right. You want to first find the ARV. What is the ARV? We refer to the ARV as the after repair value. Okay. It's what the property will sell for after the property has been fully renovated. Okay. Let me repeat that. It's what the property will sell for after you come in and make the necessary renovations to it in order to make it HGTV ready, okay? So this is how we come up with our numbers, okay? You want to find an ARV. I want you to times that ARV by 80 and or 70%. Punch it in while I'm doing this, guys, okay? Times it. Times 80% equal. This is what I'm going to do. Let's just say one property in the area sold for 300, right? One property sold for 350. This is the first step. And one property sold for 375. I'm going to add all those up. 300, 350, 375 equal 1,025, right? I'm going to divide that by 3. I'm at 341. So your average, the average sales price, the average ARV of that area is going to be 341. Okay. I'm then going to take that 341 and I'm going to times it by 80%. I'm at 273. Now we have to find what, guys? What's next? We have to find the rehab cost. How much is it going to take to renovate this house? So let's do a simple math. $50,000. Okay. We're at 223. Now, after I get the renovation costs, and I'm going to show y'all just in a minute how to get the renovation costs. Now, there's one more thing missing. Because right now, a cash buyer, would buy this property at the average ARV of that 341. I would buy it at this 223. Right now, today, I buy these properties all day long. But it's one thing missing. It's your fee, your assignment fee as to how much you want to make. So let's just say you want to make $15,000. You want to take away that 15. So now we're at 208. That is your offer price. That's how much you want to offer to the seller and our agents, guys. That's your maximum allowable offer. Okay. Follow that blueprint right there to the T. No exaggeration. I have a whole team overseas. They follow this formula right there and they get deals locked up every day. So, how do I come up with the rehab estimate, Rob, if I'm not a contractor? That's going to be your next question. Okay. All right. So, there's 4 pillars. Okay. There's 4 layers to this onion to get to the root of this problem. Let's go with a simple 1,500 square foot house. Okay. If it's cosmetic renovation needed, you go $15 to $25 per square foot. I need y'all typing this in. So 1,500, let's say I go $15 per square foot. I'm at 22,000. That's how much it's going to cost to renovate that property, labor, and material. If it's partial renovation, okay? If it's partial renovation, what I mean by, well, let me define what I mean by partial renovation. That's carpets, that's paint, maybe some new hardware. It's what I refer to as a quick flip. You know what I mean? I'm probably doing some light fixtures, updating my light fixtures, updating my hardware. When I'm saying hardware, I'm referring to the knobs on the doors, right? The door handles, the door knobs. That's hardware. Okay, carpets, paint, stuff like that. That's partial renovation. You want to be at about $30 to maybe $35 per square foot. You want to be safe, go $30 to $40 per square foot on a partial renovation. Okay. And then on a full, let me take that back. No, I'm sorry. On a partial renovation, you want to be $30 to $45 per square foot. $30 to $45 per square foot on a partial renovation. Okay. So all you got to do, guys, is put in 30 times 1,500 square feet. So 1,500 square feet times $30 per square, that's 45,000. Okay. If it's a full renovation, right? Now I'm going and I'm knocking down walls. I'm roughing in plumbing. I'm roughing in electrical. I'm doing new flooring, the whole boogie woogie, right? That's going to be in the ballpark of 65 to 75 per square foot. Okay. For a full renovation, labor and material. This is where you want to be right now. This is where the normal contractors are going to charge you labor and material. I know this because I do it every week and I work with different contractors at this point, and this is where it lands every time. It won't fail you, I promise you. And even if it's more than this, then that contractor is a problem. If they under this and they way under this, then that contractor is a problem. Okay? So let's say 60 to 75 per square foot on a full renovation. So let's just go on the high end. Again, 1,500 square feet, 75. That's $112. That's going to get you 11. And that may sound like a lot of money, but it's not when you're doing a full renovation, guys. Labor and material adds up fast. Okay. And it's one more pillar. One more. So now we went through cosmetic, right? 15 to 20. Maybe if you want to be safe, 25. So let's say 15 to 25 cosmetic. Partial renovation, you want to be at 45 to 60, right? Full renovations, you want to be at about $70 per square foot. And then on major renovations, that's additions and all of that stuff, guys. Additions and things like that, you want to make sure that you probably be at about 90 to 100 per square foot, because now you're doing additions. That's the real boogie woogie, guys. That's the real boogie woogie. Say 30. So did I say it wrong? Let's recap, because somebody keeping me on point. So cosmetic, guys, is just you going in, cutting the grass, changing out the doors, changing a couple of doorknobs, things like that, guys. Literally lipstick, right? 15 to 20 or 25. Okay. Then you want to do partial is 30 to 45. Did I say that, guys, correctly? Partial is 30 to 45. Okay. Partial renovations, I'm going to repeat, is 30 to 45. So thank you for listening. Whoever put that on point about I said the wrong thing. And then full renovations, you're going to be at like 60 to 75. Okay. Full renovations. And then major renovations, you're going to be at 90 to 100 per square foot. All right. I guess now gave y'all the blueprint. You don't, and here's even better. Get a contractor on your team, which I do every time. Y'all see me on all my videos and stuff. I always send my contractors ahead of me. Hey, go get me a estimate. I need a scope of work on X, Y, Z, A, B, C. And then they come back, they let me know where I'm going to be on let's just say a partial renovation. So I'll go into the project knowing my budget already. I know my budget. I know how much I'm gonna pay labor and material. And then guess what? When I borrow money, I borrow, and I let's just say they charge me. Let's just say partial renovation is 1,500 square feet, right? Times 45, 67.5, right? Times that by 10% every time. To be on the safe side, times about 15%, 10 or 15%, right? So you're going to ask for your lender to give you like an additional $10,000 to be on the safe side, guys. So whatever that number end up being for miscellaneous stuff, always times that number by 15%. I'm not even going to say 10 because y'all going to be like, Rob told me 10. And then if y'all come in over budget, y'all going to be mad at me. 15, 20% to be on the safe side, right? And if you end up staying under budget, then guess what? You won, right? But for miscellaneous stuff, make sure you times that number by 15 to 20%. I do 10, but don't do what I do because anyway. All right, guys, making offers. All right, let's keep it simple. Simple offer strategy. Giving a verbal offer first. You want to fill them out. You know what I mean? We do this here at my team all the day. Hey, do you think your client will be willing to entertain an offer between maybe 220, 230? Always give a ballpark. Hey, do you think or I'm talking to a seller. Hey, Miss Cheryl. So if I was able to give you, an all cash offer, no contingencies, close within the next 2-3 weeks, do you think that's something you'll be willing to entertain or probably not? Probably. Probably not. Right? So give the verbal offer first. You want to make sure that you want to get some type of anchor. And what I mean by anchor, I don't mean anchor you lowballing people $200,000 than what the property is really worth, guys. That ain't what I'm talking about. Anchor. I know that if I'm at 220, 230 and you're wanting 400, I'm outright going to tell you, I'm not going to waste your time because I don't want nobody wasting my time. I'm flat out going to tell you, Miss Sure, I am not your buyer. Unfortunately, I'm not your buyer for this property. I did it with Randy last week. Me and Randy got on the phone. Randy will tell you. Randy was like, yo, this is crazy, bro. And the more I pushed away, the more they beginning to pull me back. We call that the push away. That's a whole nother module, guys. Present a solution, not a price. A lot of times I don't give the price. I offer a solution. How can I help? What can I do to help? Because I'm not the buyer for this, Ms. Cheryl. However, have you thought about listening with a real estate agent? I have a bunch of agents who I give referrals to, guys, here in my office, right? And I get paid like 25, 30% referrals for giving them properties that they end up listening and selling on a retail market to somebody that's looking to call that place a home. I'm an investor. I'm not looking to call the place the home. I'm looking to basically buy a property to make a profit. Now, look, I'm not looking to make $1 million off every property, but I am looking to make a profit off of every property. Make sense? And I actually use that. That's actually something I use when I'm talking to sellers and or agents, guys. All right. So simple. When you're making an offer, verbal first, get a range. Always give a range. Hey, Mr. Mike. Hey, man, if I was able to give you an all cash offer somewhere in the ballpark of 200, 225, you think that's something you'll be willing to entertain or probably not? Probably not. Okay, good. So in a perfect world, what would you sell this property at today, Mr. Mike? I need to be at least 190, Rob. Okay, in a perfect world. So if I was able to give you, I'm sorry, no, he'd be like, he'd be like if I said let's say he'd be like, I need at least 250, Rob. 250. I'm like, Mr. Mike, yeah, I wouldn't be a buyer at 250. However, right, if I was willing to maybe do something to where I can get you your number or even a little bit more, right, by giving you a little bit now and a whole lot later, you think that's something you would be interested in? Well, what you mean by that? Well, are you interested in selling the property on some type of creative terms? That's a whole nother conversation. That's course. That's going to be course 3, 4, 5 or something. So I make a verbal offer in the ballpark of 200, 220. Mr. Seller denies my offer. I'm going to ask them, in a perfect world, what would you be interested in selling this house for today? He gives me 250. A lot of times, guys, you end up splitting the difference, because here's the thing. You got Rob on the back end. Just the beauty of real estate and networking. This is what we're about to get into in a minute. It's the beauty of having a Rob on the back end, because now you go to Rob and you say, all right, I made an offer at 200, 220. Mr. Mike said no to that, but he said he would entertain 250. Send it over to Rob's company. Rob company come back and say, man, I'll buy this property today off you right now for 240. Guess what? Now all you got to do is go back to Mr. Mike and say, Mr. Mike, look, I can't do 250. However, I know you said in a perfect world, you would take 250 today. What if I can get you 230? No, but I will take 235. Done. Guess what? Rob said 240, right? Mr. Mike said he'd take 235. You go back and say, Rob, look, I can't do 240. Swear comes inside this what happens. Everything. Rob, I can't do 240, but I can get this done at 250. Say, I'm not killing no deal over $10,000. Randy, send me the contract, or we'll write the contract. I buy the deal for 250. You locked it up from Mr. Mike for 235. You just done made $15,000. It's that simple, guys. All right. So let's recap. So far, we've been through step 1, the A through Z, lead generation. Step 2, talking to seller. Step 3 was running numbers. We did a deep dive on that. Step 4, making the offer. Now we're here. Step 5. Oh, this is the part I love. This is the part I love. Sign the contract. All right. A signable contract, inspection period, clear your purchase price. So once you get the contract signed from Rob, using the same as the scenario, Randy, come get the contract. He locked Mr. Mike up for 235, right? He sold it to Rob for 250, right? Now he got to get the contract signed. How do I get the contract signed, Rob? I don't know where to get no contract. I don't even know what a contract look like. Guys, there's people all within this chat right now that can help you with that. We call that squatting up, linking up with the right people. Get a real estate agent that can write the contract for you, right? You can Google wholesale contracts. Right now, you Google it. Look it up right now. Wholesalecontracts.com. I think that's my man Jerry Norton joint. That's the easy part. You get the contract signed, right? And then all you're going to do now is you're going to do one or two things, guys. You're going to sell it to Rob for 250, or you may get a little frisky and want to sell it for 260. But Rob, I don't have no buyers. Where do I find the buyers, Rob? I don't have no buyers. Oh, I love that. I love when people tell me that. I'd be like, man, stop playing with me, man. I came to Atlanta, no money, no family, no friends, no nothing. Stop playing with me, man. All right, guys. All right, quick hit. Quick hits. I'm going to hit it and I'm going to quit it. All right. Build buyers list early. Email blasts, investors, Facebook groups. Okay. Host showings for other agents, Mr. or Mrs. Agent that's listening to this thing right now. You find the investors by doing the open houses for the people in your office that's selling properties in the area. I got my first big listing and my first big buyer from hosting an open house for an agent in my office. I was so new, I didn't even have the lock. I didn't even know what a super was. A super lockbox was. I got there to the open house and called the agent and said, hey, yo, it's a blue box on the door. How do I get in? What's this? I'm used to combination. I'm from Philly. I'm used to combination. What's this big blue box? Like, you ain't got your super E key? Comes all the way to Ackworth to open the door for me, man. Like, so, okay. Host open houses, guys. And this is one thing I used to, I'm about to throw y'all. Ooh, get ready. Get ready. I'm about to drop on y'all some gems. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. When I was building my buyers list, right, I used to go to networking events. I used to meet other investors and our agents, right? And I used to talk to them. Hey, man, you wholesaling? Yeah, I'm wholesaling. How many deals you doing a month? You know, I do anywhere from 4 to 6. Okay, cool. So I think you got a pretty decent buyers list. Okay, yeah. How many buyers you have on your list? I have about 10,000. You had 10,000. Okay, yeah, I only have 1,000. So let's do this. Can I give you my 1,000, right? And then you give me 1,000 of yours. So we would exchange our lists. So it went from 1,000. Now I have 2,000. Then I would go to the next guy and say, yo, I got 2,000 buyers on my list. How many you got? Oh, I got 15. Okay, I'm gonna give you 2. You mind giving me 2? If I give you 2 of mine, you give me 2 of yours. Now I got 4. And sometimes they used to throw an extra couple thousand in there for me. I used to give people 2. They used to give me 4. I used to give them 2. They used to sometimes give me 5. Guys, before you know it, guys, by exchanging buyers lists, I remember when you could go to places like Investor Lift. The guy, Robert Wesley, from the owner of that company, came in and gave me one time a list of like 30,000. I didn't give him nothing. I didn't exchange nothing but my membership. Gave me 30,000 buyers. Guys, this is what I'm saying. Like, you don't have a big buyers list. What about networking with that person that do? Hey, man, look, I got this locked up. I got this property locked up. I know ARV is around high 300s. I want 260 for it, right? Let's say you're talking to me. I want 260 for it. So either you could buy it at 260 or, you know what I mean? As long as you give me my 260, I don't care what you do with it. You know, that person can then market it to their buyers list. That person can end up, because they have such a broad buyers list, they may end up selling it for 280. Clear your 260, easy. Everybody win. Mr. Mike got what he wanted. You got your 15, and then you went and allow somebody else to eat off your plate. So now guess what you building? Relationships with everybody. So now you got credibility with Mr. Mike. He go tell his friends about you. Now let's just say you sold it to Rob. Now Rob calling you up all the time. Hey, man, you got some deals for me? And now you can unload properties with your eyes closed. Easy. All right, so that's step 6, guys, disposition. And guess what? Let me talk about, let's real quick. You can exchange, build your buyers list early. You can do what I just now made mention of. You know the Facebook groups, guys? Facebook groups, you can literally go into a Facebook group today. And I wouldn't advise you to, if you get a property, do not go to a Facebook group and then put, hey, guys, looking to wholesale 123 Main Street. My assignment fee is 15. Here is the pictures. Here's the address. You did all the work for them, and then you send it out there to them, right? And then guess what they do? They start calling the seller. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of that going on. They start calling the seller. They start calling the agent. Hey, man, you think that's the buyer? Or that boy you wholesaling the property to? Yeah, he got it all over Facebook. Yeah, I see your kids in the pictures and everything. And we all taking pictures. Make sure people is not in the pictures, guys. Make sure the people is not in the pictures. When you be respectful. If you want to send people stuff out, the people got to be out the pictures, guys. But guess what? When that person do that, this is how you know you're doing business right. When they do that, just happened to me and my company recently. When they do stuff like that, that seller say, "Yeah, I know. What's the problem? I know they wholesaling it. Who you?" And then they come back and tell you. And now you're like, oh, his name was who? His name was what? And that's a whole nother story, guys. But anyway, Facebook groups, you could go and you could put in the area. So if I'm looking to sell a property, let's say in Marietta, I could go and type in Marietta, right? Marietta, GA. All the people who were selling properties in Marietta, GA, guess what happens? All the investors there, guys, they come in and then they put their email addresses inside the chat. They literally come in and they come in and they put their email, sometimes their phone numbers, most of the time their phone numbers too, inside the chat. They want wholesalers. People like me want wholesalers reaching out to them and sending them deals. So now guess what you do? You go to Marietta Facebook group. This is how the proper way to do it. You can post your stuff in there. Make sure you don't post the address. You just put, I have a Marietta GA property, right? 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 1,700 square feet, looking to assign the contract. People going to blow you up. You don't get it. If you don't get a lot of traction from that, a lot of times it's because you got it locked up too high. But a lot of times to build relationships, you could go right up underneath that post, start getting the emails, the phone numbers, calling them people up and sending them deals and start building relationships. Start inviting them people out to coffee, lunch. A lot of them people that's in those chats, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them are just other wholesalers, and that's cool too. I want to be friends with them too. I want to find out what's your business model. I don't like doing what I don't like is when I meet people and they're like, yeah, I'm a buyer. Yeah, I'm a buyer. And they're like, really, you a wholesaler? You know what I mean? I'm a buyer and I have a wholesaling department. You know what I mean? I tell a person real quick, agent asks me, you wholesale? Yes. Yes, we utilize wholesaling as an exit strategy. Is that a problem? All right, guys, I just now gave y'all gems, man. You can literally go to one of your Facebook groups right now and type in, I don't care what state you in, you type in the area and you will see a bunch of posts with a bunch of numbers and emails. You call them people up, you start emailing them people, inviting them out to coffee and have lunch. All right. All right. Step 7, closing and getting paid. This is the fun part, guys. Assignment agreements. We talked about that. How you assign, I'm not going to do a deep dive on that. You can assign the contract, you lock it up, same thing, $235. You sell it to Rob for $250, $260, and you just assign your contract. It's one document that you basically attach to the contract and it's done. You get your $15,000 2 weeks later. Okay. A double close is when you may be getting something like a $30,000 spread and you don't want Rob to see what you're getting, right? You don't want Rob seeing what you're getting. So this is what you do. Right? You then say, hey, you put Mr. Mike on what we refer to as the A to B purchase and sell agreement. Okay? Then you go to your closing attorney. You should already have built your relationship with your closing attorney and or title company. You go to them and you find out this. Hey, I want to basically do a double close on this transaction. Do y'all allow pass-through funding or will I need transactional funding? That's your question. Do y'all allow pass-through funding or will I need transactional funding? All right. So here are the difference. When you double closing, transactional funding is when I'm using my own cash a lot of the times, or private lenders who come with I raise capital. So they coming out a whole bunch of rules and regulations where the closing attorney, they work for the lender, not you or as the buyer or you as the seller. A lot of people don't know that. So if the lenders say, I don't want any pass-through funding, if they're double closing this deal or wholesaling this deal, they have to utilize their own money. They're going to let you know, if it's a lender involved, you have to get transactional funding. We don't allow pass-through funding. Okay. Meaning that you could come to somebody like Rob and I say, okay, cool. So you basically need $235 to fund the deal, right? So you can sell it to this person over here for $260. All right, I'll go ahead and fund the deal for you at a 1%, 1.5%. That's called transactional funding. I do that at least once a week for a lot of people that I know and that I do business with. So I do transactional funding for you, right? So you ever come across a deal, I will personally do transactional funding for you, right? And then pass-through funding is when that closing attorney and our title company will allow you to utilize Rob 260 to fund that whole transaction. So Rob come in, he paid the $235 to the seller It's all basically done like this. Mr. Mike utilizing that same scenario. You lock Mr. Mike up for $235, A to B contract. Then you come over here to Rob. You get a B to C contract with Rob. You and Rob contract is for $260. $235, $260. Rob money funds the whole deal. That's called pass-through funding, guys. All right. So you can even assign it or you can double close on it. Simple enough. All right. And then get a wire, man. Don't be that guy. Don't get the. Maybe you want to get the check just so you can make a copy of the check. Because I did that on my first thing. You maybe want to get the check, get a copy of the check, and then go ahead and hang it up somewhere on your desk so you remember where you came from. Because once this go down, you're going to start pouring out. I'm talking about like literally doing this on autopilot. I'm dead serious, guys. All right. And this right here, I would consider like, this is like module 5. Module 5, guys. Mistakes to avoid. Overanalyzing. We talked about that. Overanalyzing the numbers, overanalyzing the deal. If you don't know how to run numbers, find somebody that do. Not making enough offers. People are like, Rob, I can't find an offer. I can't find an offer nowhere. You're not making enough offers. My team know. All my people on my team need to make 70 contacts per day. 70 contacts a day. Guarantee them about 4 solid sent contracts, and they end up getting 1 or 2 of them sold. And they ain't including the offers, the email offers, the verbal offers, the text offers, and all of that stuff. But they talk with a minimum. My team know that they can't hit a minimum of 50 contacts, and contacts is not dials. I'm talking about people who they're actually talking to each day about real estate. 70 contacts. If you hit 70 contacts a day, I promise you will close a minimum of 1 deal every week. I promise you. It's guaranteed. When people figure this, when they crack this code, this is why you see a lot of people, they come in intern for a while at a company like ours, and then they start seeing the KPIs. Hold on, wait a minute. I made 70 contacts. I end up getting 7 leads. Okay. I ended up getting 3 signed contracts. Out of those 3 signed contracts, 2 fell through. 1 got to the closing table. Okay. All right, cool. So I have a chance of closing every 70 contacts I made of getting 1 signed contract. Guaranteed, especially when you're talking with agents. Or you talking with sellers with very high pain points, meaning they need to sell that house. All right. Not making enough offers. And again, this is module 5, guys. This is the mistakes to avoid. Weak follow-up. You tell that seller, say, look, I'm not interested in selling right now, but call me back in 2 weeks. We'll get it. Call me back in 2 months. We'll talk then. You never call that seller back. The agent say, hey, you call that agent. The agent say, hey, I don't have anything right now, Rob. However, I may have something coming in the next month. I'm working with about 3 sellers right now who's looking to relocate, but they're trying to get some things in order. So maybe call me back next month. I may have 2 deals you could take. They're going to need to move fast. You never call that agent back. So weak follow-ups, small buyers list. We talked about that. You don't go network. You don't go to the networking groups. You don't exchange the lists. Gave you the game with that, guys. Exchange. Find a person. That should be the conversation. How many buyers is on your list? Okay. Exchange. Trade. You want to trade the list. Build your list quick. That's easy. And quitting too early, guys. I see it happens all the time, man. People quit too early. You was right there on the break. You was right there from that $10, $15, $20,000 assignment fee, and you quit. I see it happen all the time. You quit. You was right there. Don't quit, guys. Understand this, man. This game comes with trials, tribulations, ups, downs. I'm going to tell you this, though. The real estate market may go up, it may go down, but real estate will always, and I mean always, be around. You better trust and believe that, guys. All right. Module 6. We're on module 6 now, guys. Scaling up. This when you start hiring your VAs. This is when you start bringing in your getting your CRM systems in place. This is when you start increasing your marketing dollar. If you're doing driving for dollars, if you're doing direct mailers, if you're doing all this stuff, you start increasing your marketing budget. And you move from wholesaling, guys, and did what I did. All right. So hiring your VAs. So this is what my team look like right now. I have, and I don't even refer to them as VAs. They're actually team members are, say, like family members. One of my VAs been with me 7 years, guys, 7 years. My other guy, my VAs close deals too, guys, everything. They close deals. Like lock up the deal from start to finish, send the contracts, the whole nine. Barely English is not their first language, guys. And they close deals. They talk with agents. I'll be talking to agents, right? And they be like, yeah, man, your team, they be like, such and such from your team, dude, he's an assassin. Yo, you know such and such from your team? Yo, when I say, like, dude, your team, they are highly trained. This is what other agents say to me, man. I'm dead serious. This is what they say. And other investors. You know what I mean? They be like, yo, they assassins. So hire your VAs, right? And then you hire one great, you start with just one. I started with that one from 7 years ago, going on 8. And she trained up the rest of my VAs. So I started with just, you see, like a personal assistant. She was making cold calls for me and things like that. And then she brought in other people and she trained them to be cold calls, you know, start locking up deals. And then I brought in a lead manager, you know what I mean? So let's fast forward this. I have about 3 VAs. The way it's happening is they're like junior acquisition manager. We refer to them as deal finders because they literally can run numbers, lock up deals, talk the language, the agents, wholesalers, the whole nine, right? I have basically 2 acquisition managers. They the ones that get on the phone for the most part and lock up the deal when the conversation is too heavy. When the conversation is too complicated and it's something that they can't really, you know, when they start talking about contracts and things like that, my agents jump on the phone and they're licensed agents too. You know what I mean? So not only do they understand, because most of our deals are agents, right? So they understand the contracts. When you're dealing with guard contracts, you know what I mean? You need to have a licensed agent negotiating that contract because you can't have an assistant or a VA discussing guard contracts. Now, that's when it's guard. A lot of times, the agent that's sending us the deal represent us, so we don't even utilize our agent. However, the agent, which is the acquisition manager from my team, negotiate that deal with that agent. They just represent us, and we let them keep the whole commission, what they refer to as compensation. We don't want nothing but the deal most of the time, okay? Then we have our company contracts. If it's one of our VAs, they use our company contracts. All right. Company contract, they literally do everything from sending it out, getting it signed, finding deals, the whole nine, guys. All right. So module 6 is scaling up, hiring your VAs, building your CRM system. We use Podio. We use Podio. So Podio is a great system. But I'm about to switch over. I'm looking into something right now that's called Monday. It's a CRM system because now I have a lot going on than what I had 7 years ago, right? I have rental properties. I have a bunch of co-living properties, lease. I have a bunch of creative. I got lease options and stuff like that. And it's a lot of moving parts. And from what I hear, that this CRM system allowed you to keep track of all of that. Your mail, you know, its bills need to be turned every time we take a property down and we're going in to renovate. The electric bill, the gas bill, the water bill, all that stuff got to be fixed. I mean, turned on and transferred over to the company's name. So it's a lot of moving parts. But right now we use Podio and we got it customized. And the reason why I'm thinking about switching it over, because I'm like, why every time I got to get something customized when I'm paying you, right, as my system, I got to go get a third party to customize it to make it the way that I need it. I just need something to where I'm paying somebody, you know what I mean? I need to be able to call that person up or that company up to handle the problems in-house that we're having, instead of having to go to a third party to handle the problems. That's just me. So we use Podio right now, and increasing your marketing dollar. We use our marketing. We use word of mouth. Told you referrals is the best money. The best leads money can buy. A lot of repeating agents and stuff come back and give us deals. They print money with us monthly. A lot of wholesalers print money with us monthly. But we use a system that's called EZ texting. EZ. E as in eat, Z as in zoo. And that thing worked like a charm, guys. We've been using it for like 6 years, and we send text messages out, and they get through every time. I just done gave y'all. Look, I'm telling you, man, this stuff they charging thousands of thousands for. I just gave y'all my system that I use to get through to the agents that we do the deals with. Trying to tell people to show up to the Rob Van Harris show, and then you be having your competition. Come on here. I love everybody. Everybody know me. I love everybody. Y'all don't even do so much as leave me a like, leave me a comment. Come on, guys. Y'all know y'all taking this stuff and using it. I'm cool with it. Just send me a deal and we good. I'm just saying, man. All right, guys. This conclude the mini course of wholesaling blueprint. Get your deal fast within the next 2 to 3 weeks, guys. This is not only for beginners. This is people that's looking to scale their business. This is people that's looking to do business in an ethical manner and looking to do business and have not just a something that you're looking to do as a hobby, but you're looking to turn this into a career, looking to turn this into a business. All right, man, I got in late. This one I've been waiting on. Gotta hit the rewind. Yeah, man, you got to hit the rewind button on this one, guys. I told y'all to write your questions down because I know this thing was long-winded, but I needed to get this to y'all, man. So, man, listen, guys, again, lock in. Lock in. I'm dead serious. Lock in. What I mean by that, like, no distractions, man. Cut out all the distractions. Look, cancel your Netflix subscription for the next 2 months. All right? Your boys and them calling, hey, I'm trying to go out. You know what I mean? I'm trying to go out. I'm trying to have some drinks. I'm trying to do XYZ. Nah, I ain't doing no party. I ain't doing none of that for bruh. I'm on ice. Lock in, guys. And if you lock in, I promise you, everything that I gave you today, make sure y'all leave comments as to how we can, if we can approve it. I do another one, but that's the wholesaling blueprint that you would need to get your first deal within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Hey guys, let's continue to go and grow. I see y'all on the next video. Let's get it. Love y'all. God bless.